Welcome to The American Dream, a show that started right here in San Diego, America's finest city, that now spans positive media all across the country, real stories in real neighborhoods. Hi, I'm your host, Craig Sewing, and here's The American Dream. Welcome to The American Dream, a real show, not a reality show. The real estate, the lifestyle, the culture.
It's not just about what you're living in, but the community you're going to live in.
It's The American Dream.
Welcome to American Dream TV, Selling Silicon Valley. I'm your host and lifestyle expert, Ned Lawhorn, and today I'm taking you through Willow Glen, a quaint neighborhood nestled in the heart of San Jose. Willow Glen has a rich history dating back to the 1800s when it was one of the most prized farming communities in the valley. Today it's known for its historic architecture, including Victorian and Spanish-style homes that add a touch of timeless elegance to the neighborhood. I'm excited to be your guide as we take a stroll down Lincoln Avenue through the downtown area lined with boutique shops, cafes, and restaurants. There's a lot of fantastic places to eat in Willow Glen, from The Table to Vinsanto, Grapevine, Opa, to name a few. But we're going to my favorite. It's called La Villa. We're going to go talk to the owner, Chris Berticelli, right now to hear more about it. And now here we are in front of La Villa with one of the owners, Chris Berticelli. Chris, thanks for having us for a tour. Obviously, you're well known in Willow Glen for your raviolis and sandwiches, but can you tell us what's so special about your raviolis?
Just the homemade feel. We make our ravioli daily. Fresh ingredients, all quality ingredients. A lot of it's tradition. A lot of it is parents, grandparents, grandkids are all coming in, keep a tradition alive, especially for the holiday time.
So you have a secret family recipe?
Absolutely.
You do a lot around the holidays. It's always like crazy busy, right? So how many raviolis do you think you sell on an average day?
During the holiday week, probably 50,000. 50,000
raviolis. So we've heard that you feed a lot of professional sports teams. So the 49ers and the Sharks, I've heard, you feed the NHL and the NFLs. You have a lot of teams that you work with?
Yeah, pretty much every road team that's come into Levi Stadium for the last 4 seasons have hit us up to do their post-game meals.
So Chris, everyone knows that you're famous for your raviolis. We'd love to hear more about how you make those. Would you take us on a tour and show us in the kitchen?
Absolutely, I thought you'd never ask.
Let's go. Now that we've seen a great example of why people love the downtown area, and especially La Villa, let me show you one of my favorite homes on the market. I'm here with the listing agent and the owner of this house. This is Steve Hanley. Steve, thanks for having us. Well, your home is clearly gorgeous. Can you share with us a little bit about the house and tell us some of your favorite parts?
Yeah, the home, although a lot of people think it's brand new, was built about 15 years ago. And as far as the favorite part, frankly, we're standing in it. The house is really open. It's a very, very open floor plan. It's just a fabulous, entertaining house. We've had as many as 70, maybe even 80 people in here, especially in the summertime, because you can go and enjoy the outside as well. It's got the fireplace outside and in here. But the house is just really open. It's got wide halls. It's very inviting. My wife is absolutely a great decorator, so she's done a really good job with that.
Thank you so much for joining us on this tour of downtown Willow Glen. This vibrant community is filled with all kinds of fantastic restaurants and shops. We came to visit Chris at La Villa, and he provided us with some raviolis and Chris combos, so we're gonna jump into this and enjoy. Cheers. Cheers, Chris.
I'm Mandy McCurdy, your host of American Dream, Selling Silicon Valley, and today We're at Silver Creek Valley Country Club. It's a gorgeous neighborhood located in the hills of South San Jose. Today we're going to interview the manager and the golf pro and the tennis pro to learn a little bit more about the community and what it has to offer. It's a hidden gem in Silicon Valley. Hi, I'm here today with Charles Lewis, General Manager and COO of Silver Creek Valley Country Club. Thanks for joining me today, Charles.
Thanks for coming to visit us. We appreciate you being here.
Good deal. Can you tell me a little bit of history and background about Silver Creek Valley Country Club?
Yeah, Silver Creek Valley Country Club, we just celebrated our 30th anniversary last February. And every year we have a member appreciation, but we piggybacked on that 30th year because it was so special and so important. And this is a community of 1,550 homes, a gated community, private membership. You do not have to live inside of the gates to be part of Silver Creek Valley Country Club.
Right.
You can live outside of the gates in one of the surrounding communities. And there are 1,550 homes here. We have about 500 of those homes are actual memberships. You don't have to be a member to live in the community. We prefer that you are a member and live in the community, but not all are.
Well, Charles, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I'm excited to show off our club to everyone in the community. You were great information for us. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you. And welcome to Silver Creek Valley Country Club.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm here today with Ryan Hayes, Assistant Golf Pro here at Silver Creek Valley Country Club. Ryan, the members have been buzzing about the updated driving range. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so our driving range has Top Tracer driving range. It gives you the ability to give you more information when you're on the driving range of how far you hit a golf ball. There's also abilities to show other golf courses that you can go play and simulate before you go play that golf course. And it just gives you more feedback and more information to your golf game to help you play better when you go out on the golf course.
So I've also heard that Silver Creek has a really challenging course, maybe one of the best in the Bay Area. What do you think about that?
I do believe it is one of the most challenging golf courses. It is unique being where we are located. And built on hills. It gives you the ability to work on your golf shots with different lies, ball above your feet, ball below your feet, and it will really challenge you and give you a better idea of how you're going to play. But it is golf courses in great shape and always a lot of fun to play.
So Ryan, I think one of the best perks of being a member here, a premier member at the Silver Creek Valley Country Clubs, is the opportunity to take part in the Troon Privé program. What is that?
So Troon Privé program offers all the premier members here at Silver Creek Valley Country Club the ability to play other golf courses that are managed by Troon.
Okay.
Within the United States and across the country and nationwide.
Awesome. Well, thanks for meeting with me today. This was a lot of fun. Hi, I'm here today with Everett Maltby. He's our head tennis pro here at Silver Creek Valley Country Club. Everett, how are you?
Doing well, Mandy. Happy to have
Good.
you guys here today.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'd like to get a little tour of the tennis courts around here, and maybe you can talk about the layout, the design.
Absolutely.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
We have 6 tennis courts here, all with lights, so night play is an option. Court 1 right behind us is our stadium court, sunken in, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we're moving back here. We have courts 2, 3, 5, 6, and we're heading towards court 4. So 6 courts. Something kind of interesting about our court number 4 is it is a multi-purpose court, which means we can actually play tennis and pickleball there. We can fit up to 4 roll-away pickleball nets on there, so we have up to 6 pickleball courts as well.
Pickleball, huh? So let's focus on the tennis here.
Yeah.
Tell me about the tennis programs that you have for, beginners, the youth even, for the children, and then are there any tennis leagues?
Yes, good question. So we have class offerings for kids ages 4 and up, all the way through high school.
4 years old.
Yeah, we like to get them started early. It's a tough sport, so we
Silver
like
Creek
to get
Valley Country Club wants to create a professional tennis player here, apparently.
We do. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for helping us out today and showing us what the tennis program has here.
Absolutely. Happy to have you.
All right, thank you so.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for taking the tour today of Silver Creek Valley Country Club. I hope you enjoyed it. Continue to live your American dream.
If you're looking for a neighborhood with a strong sense of community, this is the place to be. Hi, my name is Sunaina Arora, and I'm your host for American Dream, Selling Silicon Valley. Today I'm taking you through the streets of Willow Glen, one of the most desirable and my favorite neighborhoods in San Jose. Willow Glen is a quaint neighborhood just a few miles southwest of downtown San Jose. It is known for its charm, ambience, and character. Willow Glen began as a marshy land with numerous willow trees. It was drained in the early 1900s and was planted with orchards. Later, roads and houses started building in the community in the farmland, and Willow Glen started to urbanize. That's when Lincoln Avenue actually became the downtown shopping area for this community. In fact, Willow Glen was a town, and it became part of San Jose in 1936. There is a lot of history to Willow Glen. It is amazing to see how the old and new cultures blend so perfectly in such an artistic way. And that's what actually makes it so charming. While we are here, let's talk to one of the locals. Her name is Ty Kargis, and she's one of the prominent stagers and interior designer in the Bay Area. What's special to you about Willow Glen? Why do you like it so much?
Yes, we have a strong sense of community here. We love supporting our small businesses. We have this great downtown areas where the locals get together for events like the wine walk and champagne walks. We also have family-oriented events such as the Christmas lights.
Right, I've heard so much about it.
And we're famous for it. And we even have the trolley for it that takes people around to see all the Christmas lights.
Oh, how wonderful. And what about the homes? Can you talk a little bit about the architecture here? I mean, Willow Glen is known for its architecture, and you know, it has a lot of history to it. So can you touch upon that too?
Right, that is actually my favorite subject. That's what's unique about the neighborhood. You can walk down the street and see a two-story Spanish-style home that could have been there since the 1800s when the Spanish ranchos migrated the area.
Right.
You might also see next door an Eichler home, which is a famous mid-century modern-style home, or right next door could be a modern farmhouse home and a Queen Anne and Craftsman in between.
Yeah, I think what I like is the homes are not cookie cutter. It seems like they're, you know, most of them are either semi-custom or custom-made homes. So it just adds so much character to it.
Absolutely.
So again, now, because this is your neighborhood,
yes,
do you have a special spot here? Is there a favorite restaurant you have in Willow Glen?
Yes, I have just the one in mind. It's called Dolce Sicilia. They are this little Italian restaurant inside the Garden Theater.
Oh, wonderful. Oh my God, I'm excited. Let's give it a try. So Ty, what's your favorite here?
So the pasta from the homemade pasta menu is certainly my favorite.
Okay.
The gelato, if I have room.
I saw that.
As well as the array of cookies and drinks. A glass of Aperol Spritz is my favorite to order here as well.
Oh. Did you know the sign here, this facade, there was a theater here that was built in 1949.
No, I did not.
And it closed down. But the facade, the building facade survived along with the marquee and the vertical sign.
Wow.
It's just amazing that, you know, it's still here from 1949.
Right.
So Ty, it's been amazing. I'll wait for my food. I guess you're heading out for an appointment. It's been so wonderful chatting with you today. It's been so wonderful sharing the town with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
It has been such a great time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good, Hannah. Bye.
Bye. All right, that's it for now. I had a lot of fun sharing a little bit of the side of the town with you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Robert Jones, top producing realtor for Keller Williams Luxury, and your host for the American Dream TV. Welcome to the place that I call home, Lafayette, California. Lafayette is renowned for its family-friendly and increasingly diverse community. It also boasts one of the highest rated school systems in all of California. And we enjoy some of the most beautiful open spaces, parks and trails in all of the Bay Area. Like so many of my home buying and selling clients, mine is a relocation story. And the American dream that took me to Lafayette, California began in the early 1990s, working as a drive-through cashier at a fast food place outside of New Brunswick, New Jersey. I didn't know it at the time, but I was being noticed by a local real estate attorney, Nicholas Mariano, who later convinced his partner Joseph Coiro to hire a 20-year-old kid with no office experience to work with them, starting as a front desk receptionist. I worked with Nick and Joe for almost 20 years at Mariano and Coiro PC and became a real estate paralegal and an executive assistant to the partners. In 2008, an old college sweetheart came back into my life, Samantha. And 6 months later, I followed my heart and moved across the country to be with her here in California. To say I was nervous about starting my real estate career over in California during a Great Recession is an understatement. But I was inspired, determined, and highly motivated. Love and the beauty of this place will do that to a person. When we first got to Lafayette, our first stop was Mighty Fine Guitars. Stevie Coyle is the owner of Mighty Fine Guitars, a purveyor of custom and vintage instruments. He teaches, performs, and broadcasts right from this location. Let's see what he's up to today. This is Stevie Coyle with Mighty Fine Guitars. He and his shop are a neighborhood treasure. Steve, how long have you been at Mighty Fine Guitars, and what drew you to Lafayette?
I have been here, it shocks me to say, for 11 years. What drew me here was my niece, who runs the shop next door, called me up one day. She had a little tiny sliver of a shop on the far end of this building, and called me up and said, you know what, we're going to take over the health club, which is what this was, and 2 adjacent rooms. We're going to take over the health club, but you get first dibs. You ever thought of opening a shop? And I hadn't. The day before, I had decided to stop touring. I had toured with a band called the Waybacks for years and years. And along about Ashland on the way back down, I thought, I'm done touring. There was no rancor, there was no upset. It was just, a realization, not a condemnation. The very next day, she called up and said, we got this thing going on. And here I am 11 years later, and with the shop that was carved out of a much bigger room. And instead of a Squeezy Freeze ice cream shop or yoga studio, it's Mighty Fine Guitars.
That's awesome. And I know you're a touring musician, you had bands, and I understand you also worked with Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead.
Well, I did. Well, or he worked with us. We had established ourselves as a pretty hot acoustic band, with the basic conceit of the band being that we'd play any kind of music, but all on acoustic instruments. And so he said, yeah, I'd like to play with those guys. And so we put together several shows at Merle Fest, the Merle Watson Folk Festival back in North Carolina, giant festival back there.
Sure.
He joined us for that, and also for Hardly Strictly Bluegrass over here in San Francisco.
Excellent, yeah. Stevie, thank you so much for your time today, for all you do in our community.
Oh,
it's been great.
Thanks I appreciate the tutelage.
With its beautiful homes, open spaces, and vibrant downtown, Lafayette is so much more than a mere suburb. There's a ton to see and do here in this fun, active, and dog-friendly community, while still being close to cultural centers like San Francisco, Oakland, and Berkeley. This is Robert Jones for American Dream TV. Thank you for joining me here in Lafayette, California. It's the best way to East Bay.
Welcome to the captivating town of Los Gatos. This place is known for its unique blend of small town charm and modern sophistication. We're going to be stopping here at Los Gatos Coffee Roasting Company a little bit later to take a look at their live music. But first, we're going to stop at my favorite Italian restaurant here called Centonove. Come on, let's go check it out. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes Centonove such a favorite with the residents and visitors in Los Gatos?
Well, there's not a lot of restaurants that are similar to Centonove. It's very small. We do a lot of amazing things. The open brick is nice. The pizza oven is nice. The outdoor dining. We have a little bit of everything for the locals, and then the tourists usually are coming by on the weekends after they go for a hike.
What would you say are some of the customer favorites that you have here? What do most people like to order? They have to have it when they come.
Yes, they have to have the bread. We do have ciabatta. It is from Tribeca Bakery in New Jersey. It is a local favorite. Everybody talks about the bread. And then we have the Tagliatelle Bolognese. So that's our #1 seller. We sell a ton of margarita pizzas. We've got the Calabria, which is a favorite, the salchicha and prosciutto. We hand select all of the meats and cheeses. Many of our ingredients are imported. And so we have really nice purveyors and local business people that support getting us what we need to make a fabulous meal.
Terry, I know that you guys have been here, that you're the founder, you selected this location. You've been here for over 40 years.
That's right. I started the company back in 1982.
Oh, that's
yeah. Before it was common to have a coffee house or a roastery, but my dream was to have a community gathering place, coffee house, espresso bar, and roast coffee on the premises.
Oh, it's amazing. And since you've been here for 40 plus years, you must like it here.
I love it here.
I understand you are one of a few places in the Bay Area that roast your own coffee. Can you tell us a little bit about the roasting process and where you get your beans?
Sure. So in the very beginning, one of my goals was to be able to roast my own coffee right here on the premises so I could control quality and freshness. So in the early days, I started doing all of my research, visiting various countries that were coffee growing areas and meeting farmers and making relationships so I could bring in the best coffees, and also from farms that were very mindful about their practices, both with our horticulture and with the people. Yeah,
great.
But at this point, I'm buying coffees from Africa, Central America, Indonesia, Hawaii, and Jamaica.
Can you tell me a little bit about, how you bring people in besides them coming in for the cafe? I know you do some special nights during the week, right?
I do. We have live music 3 nights a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 7 to 9. So that's a whole different tradition for the coffee house to feature live musicians from the community, and it's a real town favorite. We serve a lot of coffee then and some pastries and cakes, but we also do pizza by the slice and wine and beer too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Everything?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's great. Thank you for joining me today on a tour of some of my favorite small businesses in Los Gatos. I'm Kathy Huang, your host. Until next time, cheers to your American dream.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Johannes Nega, and today I'm going to show you around my hometown of Oakland, California. right now we're standing in front of Lake Merritt, a historic landmark that's over 150 years old. At first glance, the lake looks like it's man-made, but contrary to popular belief, it's not. It was marshland and creeks extended out to the San Francisco Bay, but eventually was dammed off by Samuel Merritt, the mayor of Oakland at the time, and who the lake was eventually named after. Oakland is a diverse city with over 70 languages spoken, where people from all over the world migrated over here. And two people who immigrated to the area at a young age are myself and today's guest. So right now we're in front of Alameda County's administration building, where today I'm honored and privileged to be interviewing Phong Le, the county assessor. Come join me. Okay, today we're here with Alameda County Assessor Phong Le.
It's great seeing you again.
Nice seeing you, Phong. But I'm sure the first question everybody in the audience wants to know is what role does the county assessor play?
The assessor's job is really simple. It is my job to locate and put a value on all property in the county. And we're very fortunate. We have almost 200 employees here. We have a assessment role of almost $430 billion right now in Alameda County, which generates nearly $5 billion of property taxes each year. And that is something that is very important to our community.
So Phong, you have a pretty diverse background. You were a professor, an attorney, commercial real estate broker. So what made you decide to be an assessor?
Growing up, my family is the American dream come to life, right? My parents brought my sister and I here to America when we were little babies, and my parents were in their 20s and they didn't speak a word of English. They didn't have a penny in their pocket. Only jobs my mother and father could get when they got here were to pick lettuce in the fields of South Alameda County, and my mom worked in a garment factory. They went to school at night, learned a trade, started their own businesses, and then through those businesses, they're able to send me to college and law school. And so when I decided to take the step to go back to the family business, I looked at the finances for the family company, and I saw that we were being overassessed. We were paying more for our property taxes than we should have. The overassessment was about $1 million, and the only response I could get was, if you disagree with it, file an appeal, right? And I just thought in my mind that was just wrong. It shouldn't be like that. And so I just told myself, if this job ever opens up, I'm going to run for it. And then at that same time, I became a professor, and I was teaching this stuff. I was still working in real estate. I was running the family business, but I was also running a real estate company at the same time, mostly in commercial property. And then in 2018, on the very last day to file to run for office, I got a phone call from an employee at the assessor's office who said that the assessor is retiring. So I drove from Fremont to Oakland. It took me an hour to get there. While I was driving there, I was calling my friends to ask them to meet me at the courthouse, because I knew that I also needed to collect signatures to be on the ballot.
Okay.
So when I got to the courthouse, which was across the street from here, 10 of my friends were there waiting for me.
Wow.
And by 4:45 p.m., I was on the ballot and a first-time candidate for public office.
Wow, very impressive.
So that's how I became the assessor.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that as a government official, as a public servant, it's also my job to educate the public as well on what's happening. I teach real estate and I try and live it. The ability to own property and the ability to pass it on to future generations is essential for many families to achieve and maintain the American dream. Proposition 19 changed how you can pass on property to your children without triggering a reassessment. Let's say you bought the house in 1980 for $100,000, and that house is now worth $1.5 million. If you pass it on to your children and they don't live in that house after you give it to them, that property tax will go from about $3,000 a year to about $18,000 a year, depending on where you live, if you don't do it right. So you have to be cognizant and aware of what your goals are and what your children's goals are before you decide how to pass on property to them. And my advice is seek out a good CPA, a good estate planning attorney, and have those conversations. So that is the kind of the more specific part about Proposition 19 that everyone needs to be aware of.
Well, thank you, Phong. Well, on behalf of American Dream TV, our audience, and myself, I'd like to thank you for hosting us and taking the time out of your busy day.
Thank you for coming by, and it's great to see you again.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show, produced from America's finest city, but shot in the heart of your neighborhoods. Don't forget positive media when the world really needs it. Follow us on social media at The American Dream TV. See you next time. In the meantime, cheers to your American dream.